This is Paul Martin, and you're in the huddle. Hut.
All right. Hey, this is Paul Martin over here, and been popped in from New York City, and this is Rusty Burton, and you're in the huddle. So, Paul, you ready to talk some football? And to be more specific, some Gordonsville High School football.
Yeah, I am, but first, before we get into that, I've got to share the scripture, a little story first, like I always do.
Well, open us up, buddy. It's all you.
Well, in the Bible, y'all, in James 4:6, there's this little scripture that I think y'all need to know. It says, God resisteth the proud, but he gives grace to the humble. And you know, that reminds me of a little story, y'all. All growing up in my life, my dad used to tell me this little story. He used to say, son, if you're going to grow a garden, you can't grow the garden until you plant your seeds first. So in other words, if y'all going to go down there Friday night and win, you got to have a little preparation first. You got to plant your seeds, because you ain't going to grow the garden just by showing up. You've got to go down there and plant the seeds first. So I want to see you guys plant the seeds.
There you go. Plant the seed. And that's a good little message, Paul. Straight out of the Bible. That's where all the good stories come from, the good stuff.
No, actually, that's what my dad told me.
Well, your dad, but you know, the Bible also preaches about you reap what you sow.
Well, yeah, but so that's about as broad as it is long. You got to plant the seeds first.
You got to plant the seed.
Reap what you sow, right?
That's right. And if it goes back to the whole karma thing. You do good, you get good. You receive good, and if you do bad, well, you receive bad.
Yeah, you got to have preparation if you're going to win. You can't just show up.
And to win, you reap what you sow. If you go out there and practice and practice your butt off and work hard, you're essentially sowing the seeds for success.
Right.
And that's what it takes. And you have to do that week in and week out. Let's go back to this last game and start talking about it. What stood out in your mind about that last game?
Well, Jacob Lancaster, that kid was all over the place, making some great plays, and he intercepted a pass. And I had him as the defensive player of the week because he was all over the ball.
Hey, I have to agree with you on that. He was everywhere, all over the field. And hey, the old big quarterback got hit, and that's something I don't think he'd been hit all season. And when you roll up to turning forward field, you can expect to get hit, and that that's what we like to see as fans. We want to see that.
Yeah, and actually on the first drive, I believe we hit that quarterback for a 19-yard loss, and that's a good way to get started.
That's right. They went 3 and out. The first 2 possessions before they ever got a first down on the third one?
That's correct.
And
we was all over them.
Hey, against a team that's put up 460 yards of offense, which we talked about last week. Big numbers, and for our defense to step up and shut them down like that, that's saying something.
And I was also asked to give some some notification or some.
Let's talk about Monterey.
I was actually asked to mention Brandon McCoy too in the show because that kid a few years ago had a motorcycle wreck, and he's dedicated time out of his life to come help the kids on the sideline. And Brandon, just give you a shout out. You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work.
He's got the kids on the sidelines pumped up, and sometimes that's all it takes is just a little bit of motivation from somebody maybe they looked up to when they were in junior high.
Right.
And that's just something. Every kid on that field, whether this is something that I was taught young, and I'm glad I was. Every kid on that field, whether they're sitting on the sidelines or they're starting quarterback or linebacker, there's somebody in this world that looks up to them, and they're somebody's hero.
Right.
Maybe a little cousin, a little brother, somebody. And when you approach the game that way, you say, what I do on this football field, somebody small is watching. And it may seem insignificant at the high school level, you think that, but some of them kids are watching what them high school and how they act on the field and how they carry themselves. So
yeah, it's
that's
just
important.
Just like Brandon McCoy, he's made a name for himself, and and those kids look up to him, and
That's right.
and him being out there is part of the reason they're doing as well as they are, because he's feeding them.
Helps motivate them. And I noticed him out there a couple weeks ago, and against Hartsville, they had them kids fired up, and they seemed like they just hit a different gear. And sometimes that's all it takes. Just a little motivation. Now moving back to Middle Tennessee Christian, Paul, you know how many yards they had against us?
I mean,
you ever looked that stat up? I didn't look it up.
I didn't hear that stat. All I heard
Pretty
was
sure it wasn't a whole lot.
all I heard
They did
was
lose
the
a
fact
ball
that
in the second half.
all I heard was the fact that Braxton had 37 carries, 188 yards. So he had a pretty good night running the football, and that put him up to 926 yards on the season.
Paul, I got a little stat to share with you here. I'm looking it up.
Is this some
My
more?
daughter-
Is this
my
some more
daughter
Uncle
is-
BS?
No, this
Statistics?
didn't come from Uncle BS's research.
All right.
He did send me some intel today on some things. It says right here, the rushing yards, this is from Max Preps, all right? And Braxton is proud. He's a proud young man right now, and he should be. He's sitting at the top of the leaderboard in 1A football, 933 yards.
Well, then my stat's about 7 yards off.
He was about 7 yards off, it's give or take a few.
933.
But the
All
kid
right.
posted this on his Instagram or something, and my daughter shared it with me. And she is proud of to be from Gordonsville, where a young man's actually leading.
And I heard Jay Vaden's actually up toward the top in receiving
Jay
yards
should be
too,
up
isn't he?
toward the top. He's had some long runs, and he deserves to be.
What's his statistics? Do you have his
I really
numbers
don't
too?
know. My daughter didn't send me those, but she sent me Braxton's because he had actually posted it up, and she shared it with me, and just was so proud to see that big G up there beside of it. I know.
So if you're listening out there, Braxton, we're proud of you, and keep running that ball with some authority.
Well, we'll touch on this in just a minute, but that puts that kid 67 yards away.
Yeah, you're 67 yards away from your first 1,000. So, Coach,
the
leave him in there this week. We need to pay them back for what they did 2 years ago when they had a running back go for about 400 something yards on us.
What do you expect Friday night? The first 3 drives, he'll have it. You think we'll have
What now?
the first 3 drives? Will he get the 1,000?
Yeah, without a doubt, he's going to have 67 yards in 3 drives.
I hope so. I hope he does good.
But I'm just saying, leave him in there, Coach. Let him get some yardage. I'd like to see him get about 250 this game.
Yeah, that'd be good. His average is on up there now. What did he have last week? What did you say he had?
188.
188. I heard 188 and 186. So yeah, I'd say you're spot on with that. And hey, it's good to have a 1,000-yard rusher, but you don't get those 1,000 yards by yourself. And I'm sure this kid knows this.
And that's the reason. That's the reason I gave the game ball last week to the whole offensive line, because I challenged these boys during homecoming. I said, I want you guys to go out there and I want you to pave some holes, and they responded with 5 yards of carries. So give that game ball to the offensive line.
That's right. There you go. That's what I give mine to too, because hey, they push the pile. And when
if y'all gonna respond like and make Coach Martin proud, then give them the offensive line. Give them all the ball. They deserve it.
The ball. That's right. Hey, we had some pretty good stats rushing the ball.
Because I gave Braxton the game ball 2 or 3 times. It's time to give the old line one.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, on a side note, we should go back to defense. Defensively, we had some big turnovers. Deep. You know what I'm saying? We had some big turnovers.
Yeah, Jacob Lancaster got one, and
Billy Clark in that ball game.
And I forget who got the other 2, but I know Jake Lancaster got one. And then
he had a nice interception there for a big linebacker. I kind of get worried when I see them linebackers being covered.
Not to mention that we knocked the ball out and got a few fumble recoveries. So I mean, good effort, but they did hit one good throw on us there early for 64 yards, but after that we responded well and tackled well, and we clinched it in there and got the win.
We did, and hey, that's something to be proud of right there. We took a good football team once again, one of the top teams in the state, and
by my count that I seen on Max Prep, they come in number 10 in the state, and we were 17. So beat a top 10 team again. So and still them undefeated teams can't get out of Gordonsville without losing.
Our old buddy Pat Warren posted up the other day a stat from Tennessee, and it was one of the Tennessee's top surprises in football. Was Gordonsville beating Middle Tennessee Christian. We was the top surprise when we beat Trousdale County and the top surprise when we beat Middle Tennessee Christian. And he mentioned, hey, we've popped out of the birthday cake twice now. And I have to agree with him. They really surprised me winning those 2 games and in the way they did it, mainly with the defense. Now, Middle Tennessee Christian come out and they moved the football, and they had a strong offense. And I don't think I could stress enough how in tune their offense really was. But you never let the kid get the edge. We knew he was going to be rolling out one way or the other, and if nobody was open, he's running with it. Me and you had watched some film on that. We knew what the kid was going to do, and we just didn't give him the opportunity to.
Speaking of watching film, I don't know a whole lot about Monterey, so here in a little while you have to tell me a little bit about what they do.
Monterey just
I heard that their star players, their quarterback.
Yeah, we'll discuss that here in a little while. They do have a good football team. But
I wanna note though on something else. I guess you could call this the unsung hero of the week. That field goal kicker, he had missed 3 extra points, I think it was, and then I hollered from the sideline, go bring him in there and let's kick a field goal, and hey, he put it right down the middle. So
30 yards.
So that might be something we can look into down the future. If it gets down to crunch time and it's 4th and long, hey, kid's perfect on his field goals this season, 1 for 1. So you might throw that in your offense every once in a while and kick that field goal, and it could be the difference in winning and losing sometimes, right?
That's right. Hey, he nailed that thing, 30 yards.
I was proud of him. Good field goal.
I'm not sure what the field goal record is at Gville. It ain't much over 30 yards, if any. Maybe 37, 38. I don't even remember kicking one in the 40s. But hey, it takes a leg to get that ball that distance,
Yes, so we're gonna give you a little props on your field goal. It was well done, and
that's right, well done.
We might try you again in the future.
Hey, I hope so. Like I said, hey, over the years, you think about the number of games that maybe that one extra point that we did miss, or maybe we always had to go for 2 and didn't have the luxury of kicking an extra point.
Yeah, hey, that field goal, it could have been the difference.
That's right. One of the greatest high school football games I've ever witnessed, and I hate to, actually this is all right because Smith County lost in this game. I'm not their biggest fan, but, I wish them to do well. But this night, I would say Macon County deserved that game, and I was at a Macon County, Smith County game, Paul.
I remember that game. That's
we were
the one
9 to 10 people deep.
Right? I believe that's the game where that dude made that 50-yard field goal and beat them like 17-14 or something.
It was like a 51 officially, but he nailed it. As time was expiring, they had no timeouts and run on the field with 11 seconds. They called their timeout on 3rd down. They had it all planned out. Get the ball in the middle of the field. He kicks the field goal, 51 yards.
And they win the game.
Half the crowd went wild and half the crowd went silent. And, where I was standing, I was on the Smith County side. And you could have heard a pin drop over there, but you couldn't hear yourself think across the field. But that was probably one of the most epic games and hard-fought games that I remember going to. And that field goal, just having that kicker made a difference. And sometimes it's not a 50-yard field goal that's going to win you a lot of ball games. It's that chip shot that you need to get in the end zone from 15 to 20 out.
But you figure if it's down the wire and there's like 3 seconds, 5 seconds, or whatever, and you got it 4th down and say whatever, and the game's say tied or you're down a point or 2, try it. What do you got to lose?
That's right. I can't disagree there. I really enjoy seeing one go through the upright, especially when the big blue kicks it.
Right.
But yeah, there have been several games over the years that we probably let get away because of an extra point or something. Another thing about Middle Tennessee Christian that I noticed was their offensive line wasn't very big, but we matched up well with them, and we did push them. Offensively, I think we ran right over top of them.
Right.
We did miss a few blocks, or they were blitzing on some plays. It kind of slows an offense down a little bit, but they did slow us down some. But still, when you chug out 188 yards, and on the other side of the ball, our defensive line, we were so close so many times. I don't know how many sacks we had. You have any idea? What would be considered a sack with that quarterback getting tackled for a loss? I'd say we had several. And, when you're playing a quarterback of that caliber, sometimes that's the best. I've always said the best pass defense is a good rushing defense. You can get in the backfield and disrupt the pass. You make the quarterback, just make him tremble a little bit. And I promise, he woke up Saturday morning, he was hurt.
Yeah.
Because that kid got hit. And he's a tough kid. He was still fighting late in the game. They were still fighting, and they were a good football team. And I really expect to see them on down the road do well. I don't know a whole lot about Nashville Christian. You got all those games coming up. The heart of the schedule, we have 4 games left. 3 out of the 4, I personally think we should be a favorite. Nashville Christian is a toss-up. I don't know. Haven't seen anything on them. But they also run through what I call the weaker part of the schedule. Middle Tennessee Christian run through the weaker part of the schedule early.
And now they got to play all the hard teams late.
And they have to play the meat of the schedule later on.
And that's actually benefited us that we've got the meat out of the way, and our last 2 games are like Red Bowling and Pickett, which are kind of what I like to call the beans.
Yeah, those teams, they try hard, and you go to Red Bull, and they're a basketball team, and so is Pickett County. Pickett County's got one of the better basketball teams you'll see. And, they're ready for basketball season right now, I promise.
But the fact is, though, Monterey, though, they're a dangerous team because they can beat you.
For years, I carried this pride about myself. All 4 years when I was in high school, we never lost to Monterey, which was a tradition for Gordonsville. We never lost to Monterey. Now, Paul, on the other hand,
I played 2 years, and my team went 1-1 against Monterey.
That's right. Monterey is one of those teams that will slip in there and beat you if you are not prepared. And
now I'll tell you, y'all. The reason they come in there and they beat us is because we had the big head. No Gordonsville team had ever lost to this Monterey team before, and we thought, hey, this is going to be an easy game. We went in there cocky, and they beat us 16-12. And to tell you the truth, I hadn't been to Monterey since, so I hope that's not a bad omen.
Maybe we can change that Friday night.
I hope my next trip to Monterey, though, turns the bad memories the last time I was there around.
Just wear the yes, yes, yes shirt, Paul. That's all I ask.
This is Paul. You reached in the huddle.
Hey, man, Reno, man, you remember me? I call you guys about twice a week, man, maybe 3 times, man. I just called to tell you, man, last week I was at the, I saw the homecoming, man. That was a good show, man. Good parade, man. The Grand Marshal, man, was just awesome, dude. I love to see you up there leading that parade, man. Had no idea you was going to be out front there. Looking good, buddy. Looking good. Loved you in that Daniel Bryan shirt again, man. That was killer. Good stuff there, Paul. Congratulations on being selected the Grand Marshal of the Homecoming Parade, man. Now, moving on to Homecoming. I just want to tell you guys, that Homecoming, the Brute worked twice that night, all right? It worked on the field, saw a lot of pretty little girls out there loving on them little men, just hugging right up next to them. Loving it, man. And then in the game, man, put on some extra squirts for the game and come up big, man. Come up big. At one point, I saw one of them kids from the other team come running out of that pile. And I knowed right then that kid had on enough brute. And, a dab extra is all you need. Just get that little extra dab on there, front and back of your jersey. It worked like a charm. Hey, man, another thing. Shut down defense. Man, played some good defense. That quarterback was running for his life. And guarantee he woke up Saturday morning and thought that he was in the emergency room or something other because he probably had to have an IB in him and just need some extra fluids because that kid, son, he got worked. A good workout, man. That's good stuff. But hey, man, going on to Monterey, got to keep your heads up, looking forward. Don't let them surprise you, man. Monterey got a good ball team. Got that little kicker, Pele, man. He can Pele it. Pretty good little kicker. But you know what? I think we can beat Monterey, man. But you just got to do what you do. Get out there and run that football. Get the wild thing, man. Wild thing run wild the other night, man. 188 yards officially. Kid's a freight train, man. Keep digging hard. Everybody played a good ball game, old man. All in all, good group of seniors there for homecoming. Come in there, just buckled their chin straps on tight, put on their extra brute, and got it done. Hey, Monterey Friday night. It worked last week. Brute up again, man. Brute up. Hashtag it, whatever you want to do. Brute up. It's time to brute up and go up to Monterey, up on the mountain there, and king of the hill, king of the mountain, coming at them. And hey, I might call you boys back. I'll holler back at you.
But the fact is, what I'm trying to say is, don't y'all go into that game cocky and with your big head, because bad things will happen. You need to stay humble, stay focused, and humble.
That's right. Bad things will happen. Paul said he hadn't been back to Monterey. I'm going to touch on that here in just a few minutes. We're going to. Uncle BS has got some interesting facts for us.
And to be honest with you, I ain't even been in the town of Monterey but one time, 16 years, so, period.
Yeah, well, I guess it's time for you to go back to Monterey, huh?
Yeah, it's been 16 years, so it's time to go erase some of them bad memories.
Well, Paul, I hope we do. And you are right. We have got to, I know from a coaching standpoint, the coaches are going to have them kids prepared to win.
Well, you told me in the car that you had a story on humility. So let's hear your story on humility.
My story of humility goes to playing pool. All right, I've always felt like that I could go into any bar or any small pool room, and if I had never heard your name, I could beat you. And that's just the way I felt about it. Well, one day I show up, and I was with a friend of mine. I was working out of town, and he was with me, and we go into this little, it was just a pool hall. That's what I did in the evenings. I'd go find somewhere to play pool.
Uh-huh.
And like I said, if I had never heard your name, I could beat you at pool. That's the way I felt. And I was cocky about that. So I go in, and, of course, I'm playing, me and my buddy. And, of course, my buddy just watched me most of the time. He really didn't get in on the game. Well, this old man over in the corner, probably in his 50s. I was probably in my early to mid-20s. And this guy comes over, and he introduces himself, and he says, "Hey, you want to play a few games of pool?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, I'll play." So we sat down. After about 45 minutes, I don't think the guys missed the ball. And I'm humbled. You know what I mean? So, but eventually, he got the best of me. I won my share of games, but he did get the best of me. But as far as me going in anymore thinking I can beat somebody, I don't do that. Simply because I know what can happen. Because at the end of that day, we got done playing. We played 2 or 3 hours. And of course, he got the best of me. But the guy looked like he couldn't hold a broomstick. Didn't know how to sweep the floor the right way. So I'm thinking I can beat this guy. And anyway, our dogs decided to join us. Pet the dog, Paul. He come behind your desk over there. He's a good little doggy. But anyway, my point is, never go in somewhere thinking you're going to win. You know, and it's great to have the attitude that, hey, we can win, but you still have to perform and do had I played the exact way I know how to play without being that way, maybe I wouldn't have been as humbled. You know, because I was cocky and thinking I could beat this guy.
Kind of reminds me of when I used to play this old guy that had one eye and he had a glass eye at that, and I got beat by the man with the glass eye.
Hey, he can play some pool. I know that guy.
Oh, Stanley Thaxton.
He can play some pool. And anyway,
but he humbled me for sure.
Yeah.
He let me know that it don't matter even if you got one eye, you can still do good.
That's right. He cannot. Oh, are you worried about the dog, buddy?
No, but I think he wants to go outside.
Well, let him outside.
Go on, boy. Go on.
That was technical difficulty.
Interrupting the show.
That's right. Check back a little bit.
But anyway.
There we go. Now you're looking right. Stay right there. Don't move. All right. So, anyway, don't go into Monterey.
Cocky or overconfident.
Because first off, and I'm going to touch on this here pretty quick.
Are you going to come in or go out?
He's ready to come back in.
He's getting on my nerves. He going to have to decide out or in, ain't he?
He's just like a kid. He wants to run in and out. Most time when I'm in here working in my studio, I got the
door.
I leave the door open so he can just run in and out.
Well, maybe I'll just do that. That way he don't interrupt. Now do what you want to do.
There you go. Now he can just come and go, and all the bugs can come in, and that'd be all right, Paul. I'm gonna look up these interesting facts that Uncle BS's research lab has sent me. I'm gonna touch on this just a minute. Monterey, the word Monterey, Paul, which is where we're headed Friday night. Do you know what the word Monterey stands for? Where that come from?
I just know there's a town called Monterey, California, but I don't know what it stands for. None of that though.
All right. Well, the town Monterey, and the one up here in middle eastern Tennessee.
Okay.
It's Spanish for King of the Mountain.
Uh-oh.
Hey, it's 1,883 feet in elevation compared to ours at 1,213 feet in elevation. So, Friday night, who's going to be King of the Mountain? Who's your prediction to be King of the Mountain, Paul?
Us.
That's right. All right. Will elevation play a factor in this game? You talk about kicking. You go to Denver. We're just talking about our kicking game. You go to Denver at elevation, the good kickers can kick that ball a mile.
Yeah, so that may be something. That may be something we can look into. Field goals might be a little easier to kick from up there in the sea level.
That's right. We turned that 30-yarder into a 35-yarder. You know,
right?
Just like that.
That's a good stat right there to let these people know. Hey, come up there and kick that field goal. You got the air behind you.
Uncle BS and his research lab has done a lot of research on this, Paul. All right.
What's some more stats he give you?
Uncle BS says Monterey is home to the 1950s country legend Harvey June Van, whose most famous single was Dasher in 1955.
I don't even know the guy.
You don't even know the guy.
Do you?
Well, Paul, I don't know the guy. So what I'm gonna do here, just real fast.
You gonna see if we can figure out this guy?
I'm just gonna pull up YouTube real quick, and let me just do it here. But so you really think Harvey June had a song called Dasher, and you don't know who that is? Because I honestly don't either.
I don't.
This guy has no clue that we don't know him. Do you think he's still living?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't know anything about this dude.
Well, I'm trying to pull it up here. I'm gonna go to the all-knowing YouTube. They know what every song is.
So you're gonna see if you get us a clip of Dasher.
Harvey June What did I say that was?
Did you say Van?
Vaughn. Harvey June Vaughn and Dasher. Let me do a little search on them.
Take this off, Ryan, to see if I can hear the song.
You think you can't hear it through the headset, huh?
Maybe not. Because that headset's kind of like a soundproof. You can't hear nothing to that thing.
I am not pulling this up, so
this
maybe
may be
this guy doesn't exist. Maybe his research is
off and left.
maybe it's Van and not Vaughn. Let me go back and redo that because I think that's where my mistake was made.
Well, just hit Dasher in there and see if anything comes up.
I doubt that pulls anything up, but and here it is. And guess what, Paul?
What?
It is a Christmas song.
Well, let's hear it and see what it sounds like.
Let's hear it. Let me turn my volume up a little bit here.
I want to see what this Monterey dude's got for us.
And make sure I don't have to skip an ad.
If it's from the 50s, it's probably going to sound wacky.
Catchy tune.
Did you ever wonder how Santa gets his light to see when the moon is in the shadows or hidden behind the tree?
That don't sound like a dude at all to me. Is that a guy?
Don't sound like it.
Maybe Harvey's a chick. There you go.
We're going to put that on the show.
Hey, that's part of the show, Paul. I just played it live on the air.
So that's going to be on the show, that little tune. All right, put
I
my tune,
wonder if
put the
Reno
thing back on.
Bud knows Harvey June Van or whatever her name was. Maybe he's that old and could tell us.
Well, it is a girl, or she wouldn't have June Van in there.
Well, Harvey's typically a male's name.
Yeah, but I've heard female names with male names, so maybe it is a female.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you an interesting story about the name Harvey, Paul. I descend from a guy named Harvey. Right, and it's not Lee Harvey. I know y'all thinking what a crack shot I am with a rifle. But, anyway, Harvey was one of my great-grandfather's names. Right?
Uh-huh.
Rufus Harvey Burton. Born in Alabama. He was born in Alabama in 1863 in Calhoun County, I believe it was. And just an interesting fact for you that I descend from. His was spelled Harvey, and I noticed that Uncle BS spelled this Harvie. So if you're going to Google that and look it up this Christmas, it was a good little catchy Christmas tune. And just know them people from Monterey. And he said he's got one more fact that he would like to share. And he said that the last fact is Monterey is screwed Friday night because the Tigers are coming to town. And that was straight out of Uncle BS.
Are you sure you ain't this Uncle BS guy too? Because I tried to look him up on the computer and never did find that guy.
You've never found Uncle BS. Well,
No, so how do I know this ain't some of your stuff you're coming up with?
Uncle BS is real. And
does he have a picture?
yeah, he's got a picture.
Well, show me his picture so I can see if it's got real.
I can't do it. I cannot reveal my sources. I just can't have it. I'd hate for somebody else to steal my source. You see what I'm saying? I mean, you have our sources here. What if Z104, Paul, decides to take over our sources?
Well, that wouldn't be good.
That's right. We pay Uncle BS well. So, I mean, he's going to stick with us right now.
Uh-huh.
Now, all right. Well, facts about Monterey, you heard it straight from Uncle BS. And elevation, factor or no?
It's going to be a factor for sure, but in the kicking game, for sure, the punting, kicking, all that. But let's touch on last week's game a little bit, and Adam Goolsby throwing the football well.
Hey, he threw it real well last week. I can give that kid props.
They didn't run 6 wide, but they did throw it on the first try for about a 40-yard touchdown. So
that's right. He got that kid right where it needed to be. Hey, when you're getting
well done.
When you're getting 188 yards in your rushing game, you don't have to run 6 wide. And
but he did throw it what little bit he's asked to throw it.
He threw it well too. And Hey, I enjoyed watching last week's game. It was a good game, hard fought on both sides. The one thing that I really noticed, and it stood out in my mind just while watching the game, and I hate to knock a ref, I do. The white hat did not throw one holding call until late in the game, and it helped out. But all night long, our ends were getting held, and I asked you a minute ago if we had any sacks, had many sacks. When he was in the pocket, I don't think we had many at all. When he rolled out, we'd get him. But when he was in the pockets, they were tackling our defensive ends. And at one point, I just remember our defensive end holding his hands up, and the kids just dragging him, pulling him, and he's like, and then the white hat throws the flag. So maybe we won't have to battle that when we go to Monterey Friday night.
Right.
And it does seem like, I know we get called, the calls go both ways, and I understand that. And you don't see holding. And here's another thing. On the interior line, you're taught to hold. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
there's things you can get away with.
I mean, you can, in the words of old Bobby Heenan that used to be in wrestling, the brain, he used to say, hey, win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat and never get caught. So he always said, hey, it's only cheating if the ref sees you. So he said, if you ain't cheating, that means you ain't trying.
That's right. Well, you find a way to win. That's what I was always taught. You find a way to win.
If they don't catch you holding, then you ain't holding.
I got another little story to share about finding a way to win. Okay.
All right, let's hear it.
My neighbor's got some kids, and they love basketball. My next door neighbors, they come up during the summer. They're from Nashville. Well, the oldest kid's about 15, and he challenges me. They come to my shop here to play basketball. I got a basketball hoop, and I got them a basketball for Christmas and stuff, and they enjoy basketball. So I got them their own ball. They were always fighting over the ball, so I solved that problem. And I give this kid the ball over Christmas break. He was down here on Christmas break, and I give him his ball. Well, he comes back down, it was a couple months after Christmas. And whatever leather this ball's made of was just beat plumb off of it. The ball had done turned white. He had bounced this ball so much. And he had to stand every day after he got out of school and just bounce that basketball. But
did you get him a new ball?
No, he comes down and he challenges me. He says, let's me and you play a game of one-on-one. 21.
Yeah.
Son, I'm old. We'll make it 11. Okay? We'll go to 11. I'm too old to go 21. But I told him before we ever started, there's no way you can win this game. No possible way. Right? And the kid didn't believe me. So we bet a Happy Meal. Right? I love chicken nuggets. So we bet a Happy Meal.
Uh-huh.
Well, the kid, I give him the ball first. The kid drives in, and I just, basically tackle him and take the ball. And I go, don't even dribble it. I go shoot a layup. So he calls me for walking. He calls me for a foul. And I look around just sarcastically and say, son, I don't see a ref here. Right? There's no way he's going to beat me. This is my court and my rules. So I'm getting my Happy Meal. And I think that kid learned a valuable lesson to always establish the rules first and play by them. And, you're not going to, Paul, do you want to go play a game of one-on-one basketball with me?
Not by your rules, no.
You're not going to beat me, right?
No, not unless I make the rules, maybe.
Well,
then I might have a chance.
There were no rules. It was my basketball court. No referee around, just me and him.
Point Rusty's trying to say is, if you go into another man's shack and play by his rules, you ain't got a chance.
That's right. You're not going to win that battle. But anyway, the kid learned a valuable lesson. You can cheat, and somebody's going to cheat you. Sometime in your life, you're going to get cheated.
But we're not trying to tell y'all to go out there and cheat Friday night. No, we're trying to tell you play within the rules and play right.
The interior line is hardly ever called for holding. Now, the exception to that is on an extended play, right? If the play lasts more than most of the average football play, lasts 5-6 seconds. It's done with.
Yeah, but if you start doing all these end rounds and reverses and all these, then they're going to call the holding.
90% of the time on a long punt return, there's a block in the back. If there's a penalty throw, block in the back. You can just mark it down. So when you avoid stuff like that,
And you just keep it simple and just go up the middle and do something real quick.
But anyway, when you get caught, it's hard to catch those guys inside holding, and they won't call it a whole lot. Now that's understandable. Let the kids play football. When you're out on the end and your end is fighting for his life to get free from a kid twice his size, and he's being held.
Then you need to throw the flag.
That's pretty obvious. You need to toss the
yellow.
out there. Toss it out there. Now I got one more question, or one more. I'm gonna ask you a question, Paul.
All right, ask me a question.
Have you seen the movie Rudy?
I have.
No football fan alive has not seen that movie.
Have seen Rudy, yes.
Was Rudy offsides or not?
I don't think he was.
Rudy was offsides. I got bad news. Go back and watch the film. Next time you watch Rudy, he was offsides.
And they didn't call it?
They didn't call it. Rudy was offsides, Paul. Not
And then-
trying to break your heart. I'm just saying.
And then he winds up hitting the guy for a loss, don't he?
That's right. And this goes back to what the point we were just trying to make, and what Bobby the Brain said. If you're going to cheat, don't get caught. Obviously, they didn't catch it.
Well, they probably called it. It was just the movies, and they didn't want to ruin his one play out of a million.
Ruin his play. It's good stuff, Paul.
About like when I played baseball. They was gonna give me my memory of my one was gonna give me that memory because it's the only catch I ever had in my career. So they's gonna celebrate my one catch with
Was
me.
you in deep center field?
No, I was in right field and I ran to right center and made a catch. But they was gonna celebrate that one catch with me because it was my career only catch. Just like they was gonna celebrate my one hit with me because I had one hit in my career.
One hit.
It was a bunt single.
Well, bunt single. Did you get on base? You got on base. And did you steal second?
I don't think I did that time, but I did have one stolen base in my career.
Well, that's good.
I was basically a one-hit wonder.
Tell you to go, or did you just decide to take off?
I just took off because the pitcher turned his back to me.
Yeah.
But
There you go.
but I had one of a lot of things. I had one stolen base, one hit, and one catch. So I guess you could say I was the one of everything kind of guy.
The one of everybody.
Yeah. Hey, this is Paul. Welcome back to In the Huddle.
Hey man, Reno Bun here, man. I just calling to tell you, got my truck painted, old Dodge truck painted earlier this week. Profits Painting and Remodeling, rollered it up good, worked out perfect, man. I posted some pictures up on my Facebook page for long, man. Good looking truck. I tell you what them Profit boys will do, man. They'll paint anything, man. I tell you what they'll do. They will paint your Easter eggs if you need them to. They're good. I tell you what they could probably do too, not just that, they can remodel. They will wallpaper your Easter eggs if you need them to. That's how good them boys are, and they'll look good, man. I tell you what I seen them doing one time. Painting the bottom of a swimming pool, man. Had a snorkel on down there painting a monogram right on the bottom of that swimming pool. After they painted it blue with the snorkel, they come back with the black and snorkeled down there and painted the logo there, man. A big B, man, for Big Blue. Right there on the bottom of that swimming pool. And it looked good, man. I ate breakfast with him sometimes, man. I seen him one day that I was eating breakfast with him. I just asked him, Charlie, the owner of that place, I said, Charlie, why do you butter your toast with your fingers, man? And he said, well, as a painter, I like to feel the texture of it, you know. And it made a lot of sense, man. So hire these guys. They know what they're doing. Best painters in town, man. They can do it, man. I tell everybody one time, I painted a picture in jail one time. I tell everybody I had a little brush with the law. But anyway, man, they'll butter your toast for you if you want them to, man, and it'll be perfect, man. Smooth as butter on there. And I keep telling them one day they gonna die of strokes, man. Too many strokes. They need to get them. As a painters, that's what they die from, too many strokes. But hey, anyway, man, call Profits Painting and Remodel if you need any of that done, man. 615-683-8519. Talk to Charlie He'll fix you up, give you a free estimate, man. 615-683-8519. Get you Easter eggs wallpapered. I'm going to holler back at you.
Well, Paul, talking about King of the Mountain. Are we going to be King of the Mountain? That's all I need to know.
Yes, we are.
Are you going to be there? I'm giving you a ride, but are you going to show up and be the Paul Martin that everybody loves, that them kids want to see at that ball game?
Well, tell me, what kind of Paul Martin do they want to see?
They won't be enthusiastic, hollering, fire them up, hit somebody, Paul Martin.
Well, I'll tell you right now, if that dadgum fence is right there next to them players, then I'll do it. But if that dadgum little old bleacher of a thing's in the way, it's hard for me to do anything with a bleacher in the way. But that's what I liked about Joe Burns, though. The fence was, hey, right there with the players where I could get up there.
There you go.
But I don't like that about our field because the bleachers are in my dang way. So I need to make me a promotion to the coach to get them dang bleachers out of there.
Hey, maybe I can get you a press pass and get you out there on the sideline. What do you think?
I need something where I can get the kids jacked up because the bleachers are in the way at our field.
Well, yeah, well.
And they really can't hear me. They really can't hear me because I'm not right there up on them.
Well, we just have to follow them up down the field, Paul.
But I like it. I like it when I'm right there on them, where they can actually hear what I'm trying to tell them.
Yeah. Well, hey, I got to tell you another good one. I think Monday our JV team goes down to Friendship, which is a school that I absolutely.
They went down there Monday. Well, did we win?
I love to beat Friendship Christian at anything. I don't care. They got a tennis team, and Gordonsville don't. But if I was playing them at tennis, I would kill myself to beat them.
Well, did we
I
win?
Hold a tennis racket. And yes, Paul, we did win. They come out early, scored a long touchdown, went up 6-0. They stayed that way for a long time, and then we finally, the Moose shows up. Of course, he stays with the starters at the school while the JV team travels down, and he's coming through Lebanon, and he stops off, and
he come in just long enough to fire him up and get him going.
In, and when he did, it was like the light switch come on, and them boys they were playing good up until that point. But hey,
junior varsity, is that like the younger players on our team?
Younger guys, and they play hard. They play some good hard-nosed football. If you
who scored the winning touchdown for us? Tell us.
I think Donald Davis.
Donald Davis. I've never even heard that name.
Touchdown.
I've never even heard that name.
I think he's number 44, Paul. Look at this. Look him up on the side. A good tall kid. But if I'm not mistaken, it was all the way on the other end of the field. But I think he caught the pass. And
well, who's quarterback? Is it Taylor Thaxton?
That takes us into overtime. Yeah, Taylor Thaxton's the quarterback. And that takes us, and we didn't get the 2-point conversion.
6-6.
And it's 6-6, and we go into overtime after that. We play a few more series, nobody scores, we go into overtime. We scored right off the bat. We had the ball first, played defense and stopped them. Game winner, 12-6.
Who got it?
I don't remember who scored because there was just a big pile down there on the other end. But regardless, the Big Blue got it.
In overtime.
Not really an individual sport, but we got the win in overtime.
Well, what about that game that they talked about last week, our championship game? Did we win it too?
I think we went up to Red Bull and played somebody in junior high.
Did we win it?
No, we didn't win it. But hey, them kids, they turned it.
What was the score on it? Did you hear his score?
I don't really remember. I seen Coach Petty posted up. I think they got beat, but hey, them kids played their butts off the last part of that season, and that goes back from the time I played football. We were always taught we're going to get better every week. We're trying to be better than we were yesterday. We're going to be better tomorrow, and the day after that, we're going to be better than that. And that junior high team did that. At the first of the season, they were struggling to score points. I think they run the old hook and ladder 3 times and scored on it twice, and that was the only play they scored on. And the kids were begging to run the hook and ladder every play. They want to score. And they finally figured out a way to do that. And when you got a team begging, let us do it. It's hard to turn them down. But Petty does a great job at junior high. And he made one of the greatest calls I ever remember being called in any junior high game ever. And we actually made a big comeback again. I think we were playing Baxter.
Was this when you was in junior high?
No, this was a couple years ago. My son was in junior high. And I think it was like a 30-20 28-28 game or 30-28. So I think we beat them 30-28. We were down and come back. Them kids, they were down 2 or 3 touchdowns. Kids made a valiant effort, got back, tied them up, go to overtime, and of course we got the ball last. We need to score. So we score, and we go for 2, and Petty calls up all plays. The one play that he probably shouldn't have called, but he knew it would work. Can you guess the play he called? The shovel pass to the tight end. Big Bill Washer took it in for 2 and won that ball game. And, to make a call like that in overtime is just great. To have a coach that says, hey, you know what? Most of the time you're throwing to a line. And I absolutely hate passing the ball and throwing it out to the flats. I do. I was always a get to the stick kind of guy. Right? I mean, honestly, if I'm playing NCAA and you're my opponent and I need 6 for a first down, I'm not throwing it 3 yards or behind the line of scrimmage. I'm getting to the stick and throwing the football. Right? It's a good strategy. But anyway, Paul, in closing, what do you have to say about going up Monterey? One thing you could tell these young men, fire them up, son. It's time to fire somebody up.
Go down there.
There you go.
Attack them. Go down there and attack them. Hit them every play. Don't let your guards down, and don't ever let up on them.
There you go. King of the mountain.
We got to be the king of the mountain, and don't get in there cocky and thinking it's yours till it's yours. Go plant the seeds.
Plant them seeds. And appreciate you tuning in to In the Huddle.